Edo State House of Assembly don't take serious legislative step as dem push two important bills past second reading for plenary wey shele on Tuesday. The first bill dey aim to overhaul sanitation and waste management law to fight pollution wey dey rise for the state, while the second bill dey target the wahala of cultism wey don cause plenty violence and insecurity. Lawmakers yarn say both bills dey timely and dem go help public health, safety and development for Edo State. The sanitation bill wan repeal the Edo State Sanitation and Pollution Management Law 2023, replace am with stronger framework for sanitation, pollution and waste control. Majority Leader Honorable Jonathan Iyama wey carry the matter vex say people for Edo dey dump dirty anyhow, even inside gutter. E con tok say the new law go help collect better household data, put organized system for waste disposal and also introduce small token fee to boost government revenue.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we have before us a bill for a law to repeal the Edo State Sanitation and Pollution Management Law 2023 and to enact the law to provide for the sanitation, pollution and waste management in Edo State and for implemented laws. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, everybody is saying when you travel abroad, you have a decent environment, everywhere is clean. It is because there are laws that regulate every situation in that place. Mr. Speaker, in this country and in Edo State, it's like there's a situation where we have taken dirtiness as a way of life. I believe that with this law, the intention of this law is to correct such negative acts as it relates to cleanliness and bringing order and sanitation to those states. Mr. Speaker, we are told cleanliness is next to godliness. Some years ago, to ensure that this issue of having a clean environment is properly inculcated by members of this state, we had a situation where you underwent against discipline that time. Sanitary inspectors were employed, environmental officers were taken to ensure that they go from house to house and ensure that people tidy their places of living. Mr. Speaker, today, if it's raining, for instance, people carry all their debt from their house and throw them into the gutters. These debts are taken by the floods and taken to different places. At the end of the day, if the rain stops, you will see everywhere littered with refuse. The essence of this law, Mr. Speaker, this bill, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that we have a good data of all the houses in those states. People will have a means of disposing their refuse. And at the end of the day, we will not have a situation where we dump our refuse anywhere. If you go to some countries, Mr. Speaker, they have trash cans, different colors, maybe blue, black, and green. And they have different days for which the people, the waste managers come and take this refuse. The one dump them where they are recycled. This our bill, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, is to ensure that we have such a thing. People can effectively and efficiently dispose of their refuse, and they might pay some little token for it and become a source of revenue. Mr. Governor has acquired 3 bulldozers to pay for the purposes of ensuring that refuse is properly taken care of in this state. Instead of that, he said, why would I be hard and let me just buy? And he has good because he has that consciousness to see that if there's shine as his own objective, our environment should also shine. So, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we have to do everything to ensure that this bill sees the light of the day and becomes a law. Because when we have this, it also provides employment for people. People that will register to be cutting away this refuse from different points are people now that are registered with the state government and they go and do this bidding of collection of refuse and disposal. And as such, household not giving to the tenants of this law when passed. And there will also be punishment even for those that are supposed to collect this revenue if they don't come to collect it as and when due. So my dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I pray that all of us join me talking on this bill with a view to having this passage as quickly as possible, so that the mission and objective of the Assembly, ensuring that we have a clean environment devoid of pollution, is achieved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Speaker Right Honourable Atu Osanwon, you can remind the House, say make them remember, say task force be there before to enforce sanitation, and come beg the House, say make them support the bill. Other lawmakers like Deputy Majority Leader Honourable Imakwe Ada and Minority Leader Honourable Charity Agwabanweyan also support them.
Mr. Speaker, cleanliness is life. And I remember when we were growing up, I grew up in Benin City, in New Benin precisely, off Upper, whereby after trading in the evening, you see the whole New Lagos Road, Mission Road is blocked with refuge. But at the end, there were a little bit of sanity, whereby there was a task force set up then and said, every Saturday, sanitation day. And they enforced it, and it worked. So, Mr. Speaker, I will say this is a bill that every member of the House should embrace, because cleanliness is life. And there are people up to today, they kill rabbit in their house in this Benin City because their compound is not clean. Even in this GRA, there are some people that kill snakes inside their house. It's because of this same issue we are saying.
Mr. Speaker, this bill, like the majority leader has rightly said, is very apt, it's very germane, and it's timely too. I think, Mr. Speaker, I'm particularly excited about some of the provisions in the bill, specifically the provisions relating to sections 32, 35, and section 40 of the bill. With section 32 and section 40, Mr. Speaker, apart from the intended health and sanitation benefits, it is going to help us in Edo State to also checkmate some of the very dire security situations. Section 32, Mr. Speaker, has to do with the registration of scavengers. You know these people, Mr. Speaker, who go around with carts. Some of them have now resorted to uprooting manholes, stealing generators from people's houses, and all those nefarious activities. With this bill, Mr. Speaker, getting them to now properly register their activities with the Edo State government allows us to know who these people are and allows us to beat the genuine ones from the criminals among them. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, when you take a look at section 40 of the bill, you see that that deals with how unoccupied and uninhabited lands will be further addressed under this law. So apart from not allowing your vacant lands to be used for environmental health hazards, it will also ensure that these vacant lands are well taken care of and do not become a haven for criminals and drug addicts to sit in the premises and from there carry out terrible acts and terrible crimes in society simply because the owner of the land is no longer taking proper care of sale. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would round up by speaking briefly on Section 35 of the bill. That one affects practically most of us in Edo State. The habit of buying snacks, Mr. Speaker, during traffic, while driving on the road, you finish with your drink, you toss it out of the window, you buy meat pie or whatever it is, you finish with it and you toss the rest of it out on the street. This bill seeks to checkmate all such unwholesome activities and so many other things. So for these specific ones that I've said, Mr. Speaker, and for the general provisions of the bill which are not yet highlighted, I urge my honourable colleagues to please support this bill and let it be given speedy passage. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
I want to join my voice to very loud ones that have already expressed in urging for the passage of this laudable bill to ensure cleanliness in our environment. We cannot say it enough. The place of cleanliness as a correlate to good health and to good living. I want to express that this bill, which was passed in 2023, suffered some innate defect that caused a challenge to it at the High Court and the Court of Appeal. And as a result, it was made prostrate and unable to act. I'm glad to express that with the amendment now sought, that problem that acted like a time bomb and made it impossible to achieve its aim has been removed. And having been removed, the good of Edo people will now be topmost in the operation of this law. We all know, sir, that by virtue of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, first schedule, the function of environmental sanitation falls squarely within the ambit of the local government. That is why in days past, some persons were employed as what we used to call Iko in our local government councils to enforce sanitation. I didn't know. So, we are going back to that era. But the good news, sir, which I want to emphasize in the legal part of it, is that even the local government cannot operate these laws except it is made as a uniform law by the House of Assembly. The Edo State House of Assembly have the powers to make laws for the good governance and administration of the local government. So the fact that the law is made by the Edo State House of Assembly does not remove from the law, sir. It actually is in compliance with the constitutional provision, especially for a law that have a pervasive coverage like that of the environmental law. It must be made by the Edo State House of Assembly. But the functions will be delegated to the councils, which I have seen is demonstrated in this law, thereby saving it from the handicap of the time pass. So to that extent, and from that jurisprudential perspective, I want to say that this law should be given expedited hearing, because we don't want Edo to be at the forefront of all those kind of fevers that is reflective of unhealthy living. They call some dengue fever, dengue pose, Lassa, all of them being traced, the other one diphtheria, all of them being traced to Edo as the anchor. We are known for good things, sir. The Portuguese came to this land and gave a very wonderful report of Edo people being civilized, having very clean streets that was described as better than that of Lisbon in Portugal. So, with street lights, sir, thank you for the reminder. So, we have a culture of cleanliness. The uncleanliness that has pervaded the land in the recent past is foreign, sir. And we are going to deal with it and remove it from our realm with legislation. Legislation that is done by Edo people who knows the value of living in an environment of cleanliness and who have the culture of cleanliness. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Speaker writes Honorable Blessing Agbeba Kukonya and say personal hygiene na key. I come also point Mission Road beggars where they scatter dirty for streets and block drainage and the careless way them they leave dirty after them don't clear gutter. A come one local government chemos then say make them not use the law chop money, say implementation go they strictly monitor. The bill can land for Committee on Environment, we go report back in 2 weeks.
Before you come out to effect cleanliness outside your house, first of all check yourself as a person. If you are even clean, do you brush your teeth in the morning when you go? Do you clean your ear with cotton bud? Do you wash very well? You check yourself first before coming out to be talking about cleaning your environment. Let me use Mission Road as a case study where you have those universities, where the maritime you food for them. After eating those food, all those leftover parts will all go into that drainage, thereby blocking water from their way to their actual challenge to where they're supposed to go. So I'm also happy when this law being passed, those areas are supposed to be looked into. Then the issue of the safety. For some time now, I've observed that when you spend money to deseat the drainage, the debris of the drainage will be there for weeks. By the time rain falls, it will wash them into and what is being paid for that deseating? It's like a penny wise, pound foolish. So what we pay to the Ministry of Environment that when you spend the taxpayers' money to deseat the drainage, please as you are deseating them, please back not leave the debris there. Because when rain comes down to wash back the dirt into the drainage. So I'm appealing to the Ministry of Environment, not only that, and the waste management body in particular, to please take note of this deseating process.
Mr. Speaker, having gone through a debate for this very beautiful, wonderful, and laudable bill that is being repealed today by the Edo State, a bill that we are looking at today, which we are looking at, and having gone through the debates, and having discussed all of this from committee work to the extent we have done, I hereby move a motion that this bill be taken by this House.
Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to second this motion that has been moved by my brother representing the people of Islam East. Before seconding the motion formally, if Mr. Speaker permits me, I want it on record that I fully
dangerous wastes that they are generating. I haven't put that on record, Mr. Speaker. I quickly, with your permission, draw your attention to section 44 of this law, this proposed law, which states that every person plants trees and green grasses around their environment. I want Mr. Speaker to take legislative notice of the record that among members here, I'm the only one that's planted trees. So those who have not planted trees should please go and plant additional trees around their place of our we don't want us to plant trees. So Mr. Speaker, of that note, I second the motion that was taken that this bill having been well considered should be adopted by the government as passed upon today. And
That the quarter, our quarter will state that we should make sure that from next week we should go and plant trees there, because the quarter is whole it's 20. It's 20. There's no means of windbreaker there anymore. What they were before, the old and they have been discarded, so we need to plant new ones. I want to also advise the council chairman that when this bill is being passed finally, that there's no use as a means to siphon the council's for all the name of environmental accreditation. Yes. We are going to monitor them strictly on this. You just heard the motion moved by the member of the activist and seconded by member representing Akoko Everyone. To the effect that that if your agreement that this second reading should be adopted by this house, please say aye. Those against say the ayes have it. This bill is on the second reading and is hereby referred to the Committee on Environment, where I, T, crossed. Please work on it and report back to this house within 2 weeks.
The second bill where the House consider an amendment for the law against secret courts and similar activities. Honorable Jonathan Ihama will come talk say the amendment go strengthen fight against court wahala where don't buy people and scatter peace for Edo. Deputy Speaker Osawonyi come hail Governor Monday Okpegolo for security efforts and yan say without peace, development not fit happen. And come also call on the people to join hand with the governor to fight cultism.
The intention was to checkmate the activities of different court groups in Edo State. And when this law was passed, His Excellency went into action to see that the activities of all these court members killing themselves, killing people that they don't like, is redressed. What to extent people were saying that things were done outside the law. But I think with that law passed, the activities are reduced. But His Excellency wants a situation where you can fight them to a situation where they do not come back anymore. Because the state government is not ready to enter into any agreements with any court group. And they will not see themselves as the one directing the affairs of governance in the state. We do not have to government those states of one. So the essence of this amendment, Mr. Speaker, is to see that areas that were not properly taken care of in that bill that recently passed, in that law that recently passed, is carefully handled now. The law is trying to really look at this amendment is trying to look at the sponsors of these activities. Because when you arrest people, you do not arrest cult activities of our state, because it's sadly painful to see young people cut short the lives of other young people, and making people the fatherless, children to be fatherless, making women widows. I think this activity of these people that believe that they can not stop anywhere as people that govern the other side of the world to govern the mandate. If you are saying like the brotherhood, it should be a brotherhood to promote peace, and not a brotherhood to take the life of another person. So, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I want us to read this bill, this amendment also, like I said, is pretty passive, so that all encompassing points that they want to be put in a bill, a proper put there in this amendment, so that when the last time becomes the law, at least I can take the situation of criminality out of our state to the level of about 90%. So, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I will call on us to please join me in saying that we see this amendment pass through.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is the business of the day, because for all of us to function well in this state, we need to get this out of our system. You can see, first of all, I have to thank His Excellency, Senator Monde Bewo, for being firm on this issue. Because without security, there is no development anywhere. Mr. Speaker, I and my constituency stand against this cultism. We stand against backwardness in this state. Mr. Speaker, I am joining the majority leader to make sure that this bill is scheduled in this 8th assembly, because security is life. We have some of our children and family. Last 2 weeks, I have some visitors that came from Lagos and Abuja. What they said is that Edo is getting better. Mr. Speaker, we must push further to make sure we join His Excellency to reduce this totally in this state.
The Speaker, for in part, also praised the Governor's commitment. Other members, Honorable Maria Edeko and Honorable Imakwe Ada, also took mouth for the bill, as them here said the bill go help wipe cultism come out from Edo State. The bill can land for Committee on Security, we go report back in 2 weeks.
3-4 months back, when you come out by everywhere, empty. But now, when you come out, 10 everywhere, you see the groove everywhere. Nice life, come back to Edo. So what I'm trying to for holding fair to say, cultists are here. I must give you, and it's doing that. Now, I'm not related to support it to make sure the needful is done. Those people who are in the diaspora, when I go to Canada, most of them say they are scared of coming home. And I told them, fear no more. Edo is now a safe place, it's cultism. That's the governor of the people. So I think we have to hold on to that string so that it will be rid of completely. It's not this
As a mother, each time you hear a child is killed, our hearts bleed for the child. Since His Excellency came into office, he has not paid lip service to the issue of dealing with cultism, and he has sustained the momentum. People came out happily, they did that. And after that, the authorities went to sleep. Government went to sleep. In this case, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebolo, since he came, he has sustained the fight. There is a determination, which is what is needed to stamp out these ills from the community. And as a house, and on behalf of my constituency, and as a woman, a mother, in solidarity with all women in Edo State, we are wholeheartedly supporting His Excellency and this bill.
Mr. Speaker, I want to speak briefly in support of this bill. In doing that, I want to re-echo the words of the Deputy Speaker earlier stated that it is impossible for meaningful development to take place anywhere in an atmosphere of insecurity. Mr. Speaker, we must commend His Excellency the Governor, just like the member representing EDHA Notice 2 just said, for sustaining the temple. This fight against cultism is one that His Excellency and the Edo State House of Assembly must collaborate together to win. We must win this fight at all costs. We will give it whatever it takes. Like you rightly observed, Mr. Speaker, nightlife and the attendant commercial activities have come back to Benin. That will be increased revenue for government. That will bring in more funds to develop the state. That will give our people peace of mind. A few misguided elements will never be allowed to hold the rest of us hostage. The essence of this bill, like the majority leader said earlier, will be not to target only the so-called cultists themselves, their associates, their sponsors, whoever you are, wherever you may be. The message is being sent clearly. Edo State will not tolerate you, and everything will be done to liquidate you. If you will not give us peace, we will take you out of the system. That is the essence of this bill, Mr. Speaker. I support it most wholeheartedly, and I encourage my colleagues to do the same. I hereby move that this bill be committed to the committee stage after same has been read now, second reading. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The effect that having done justice to this bill and the debate stage, and this bill will be committed to the stage.
If you are in agreement that this cultism bill should be adopted as a common bill, you say aye. Those against it, aye. Security, where the eyes will prepare and take cost. Please report back to the House within 2 weeks.
The House come adjourn City go Wednesday, September 17th, 10 o'clock for morning. Make una not forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We know the take blame. Ekata Ojesele, TMC News.